When you're young, divorced, and never talk about a partner, it's fun to watch people try to figure you out through a series of what they'd like to think are very casual questions. After being as elusive as I can, for fun, they typically just come out and ask, "Do you date?" The phrasing of the question is funny to me. Like, do you run? Do you bike? Do you date? Dating, an active verb that we try on for sport. This is something that I warned my friend about when he called to tell me that he too was getting a divorce. We had been friends for many, many years, but we had never had a conversation quite so personal. In the first phone call, I told him a little bit more about how my ex and I had gotten to that point. In the second phone call, he told me their version of that story. And the phone calls just kept coming. It was delightful to find camaraderie with an old friend about something that's usually so isolating. After many months of this, he said that he would love for us to spend even more time together, but that given everything, he thought we should date casually. Now, being asked if I'd like to date casually is a little bit like me picking up a novel that's written in Latin and being asked how I feel about it. It might be good. It might be exactly what I'm looking for. The problem is I have no fucking idea what it's about. Instead of telling him this or asking a follow-up question of literally any kind, I agreed emphatically. And I agreed emphatically to casually dating because at this point, we were talking every day. I'd known him for years. I trusted him intrinsically, and I had already told him my hardest stories. Let's just get to kissing already. So I followed his lead as he taught me how to casually date. And a key thing I learned in this process is that in order to keep it casual, one of the things you have to do is just keep telling everyone that it's casual. People would be like, "Oh my God, how's it going with that guy?" "Oh, good. You know, it's good. We're just keeping it really casual." And if you say casual anytime anyone says his name, then you're good. No other adjustments need to be made. In fact, other than the overuse of the word casual, it looked quite like a real relationship. Early on, I told him I was having terrible insomnia, up every night from 1 to 3 in the morning. Each night after that, he would send me an audio recording of him reading from a book on evolutionary biology, so when I woke up in the middle of the night, I could be lulled back to sleep by the bore of science. Casually. We were long distance, but would talk on the phone for hours at a time. I got to be the person that he called in those tough early days of divorce, which is something I'll always be proud of. We planned and took trips together, knew every minutia of each other's day-to-day lives, and were, just super cash. We'd rented this little cottage in the middle of nowhere, and we were laying in the sun listening to our oh-so-casual shared Spotify playlist of all the songs that remind us of each other. I snuggled into him, took a deep breath, and thought, I am so in love with this man. Ooh, that's not good. Because while I may not know Latin, I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to love them. What happened next was a series of terrible conversations. In the last of these, he told me that when he thinks about dating me in a real and honest way, it sparked feelings of, and per the rules of the Moth, I'd like to emphasize here that this is a true and direct quote, feelings of, quote, an impending sense of doom. We don't talk anymore. And I miss him. But when you take a friendship out of its comfort zone like that, it's super hard to put it back. Turns out that when you start dating someone because of that trust and friendship and camaraderie and vulnerability shared, that is exactly what you miss the most in the end. These days, when I wake up at 1 in the morning, I roll over, turn on my light, and take out my book on evolutionary biology. That shit's fascinating. But no, the answer to the question is that I do not date. I do not know Latin, and the only difference between him and me is that I know that about myself. Thank you.